So the song here in my heart, a melody I start and can't complete. It's only beginning to find release. Oh, the time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be pushed aside or turned into your own, all 'cause you won't listen.
That's such a powerful moment, you know. But sis, we'll turn on to you so you can sing it live for us tonight, and then I will say your prayer for us, and then we kick off with a special hour with you tonight.
Sounds good. Good evening, good morning, everybody around the world. This song is called I Love You, Lord. And today I love Encouragement Fridays because it's full of blessing. So glad to serve you today. Oh. Oh, te alofa, ia te oe lawali. O te tuina tune, lo leo moe, le faola, lo oli sanga, ia te oe lo tupu. Ia vea uma pese malie, io ufofona. And I love you, Lord, and I lift my hands and my voice to worship you, oh my soul rejoice. Take joy, my King, in what you hear. Let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ears. Oh, te aloha, ia te oe loli. O te tuina tune, loe, le faola, lali aisanga, ia te oe lo tupu. Ia mea
Le tualo mātou ta māpa i ai o le leo sa e wha Manuia ina, na e tu wina i ai o le tāleni. Wa vivi i atu ai i la wa whio le nei tu la fiafi. Tai tō tasi i mātou manu le whale ma le au ngā mai a te oe, wha Manuia mai i le suafo Yesu Keriso. Amen.
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 How
So I would like to
is
welcome
God.
all our viewers around the United States and around the world. Thank you for joining us tonight, as usual. This is the Samoan diva, Marina Davis, live from Australia. And here we are live from Long Beach tonight. We connected through technology. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us tonight, sis. To all our viewers, here we are. We're coming together tonight. We're going to talk about your talent and how good God is in your life. But first of all, I just want to compliment you. You're an amazing human being in the likeness of your celebrity career. You are so amazing in every aspect of your lives. If I have to explain Marina in my own way, I would say this: she's very, very reliable. She understands herself, and she loves to be in the midst of people, and she loves to love you that are watching us tonight. So here we are, sis. Share a little bit about yourself, because some of our viewers tonight, they're new, and this is their first time they're joining us tonight. Just a little bit, and then we go from here.
Thank you so much, brother. You are always so kind in the beautiful words that you say. And I just want to say the reason why I've become reliable, the reason why I've become who I am today is firstly because I was a very broken person. Firstly, because I was a big failure in my career. I was a big failure in life. My marriage was failing. Everything was failing around me. And I thank God for his love and his grace and his glory, because when I started to learn to lean on God, and when I started to lean into God, that's when my life started to change. And I know that, for a lot of people that are watching us all over the world, it's very easy to look at any celebrity and think they've got it all, they're amazing. The truth is, we're as human, everybody, we all do the same things, we all hurt the same way. I've just been very blessed in my career to have learned to trust God, especially in the last 4 years when I started to build my business, my vocal coaching business. I've really just leaned into God, and he's become my business partner. And that's actually how I know that God is real, because the ideas that he gives me, I'm just not smart enough to come up with them. So that's how I know that they're God's idea. And every single thing that he puts in my heart, I'm just like everybody else. I'm scared to be obedient. I'm scared to go for it. But the difference is that when you are completely reliant and surrendered to God's plan for you, you will feel the fear, but you will do it anyway, because you know that your fear will be turned into courage. Your courage will be turned into worship for God, and your story, your worship and your thanksgiving will be turned into a story that will bless and help others. So that's my journey so far, is being able to turn all the brokenness in my life. I've had severe trauma in my life happen to me, but I thank God. See, today I can smile. My heart is clean. My spirit is full of joy because of what the Lord has done. He gave me the courage to go to hell, get the keys to my freedom one more time. He gave me the courage to change my behavior, because this is not all about the devil. I'm sorry. It's not all the devil's fault. Sometimes it's us, and we need to look at ourselves and change ourselves and change our habits, change our behaviors, so that we can become better people. So that's my message in the world today. Not just that you can sing and have the best voice of your life, but that you can change and transform yourself to become the person that you want to be. Brother, I was not always reliable. I got fired from how many bands when I was young because I'd never turn up. I thought I was a diva, but my life formed when I met God, and he turned me from a diva to a servant. So I'm a Samoan servant, not a Samoan.
But you know what? I'll say this. It's very, very true what you just mentioned about life ups, life ups and life downs, right? There's an evidence that it shows how how much you put into your relationship. I didn't want to dig into it too much, but I will say this. We go through in times in life, we learn from what we made in our mistakes to determine how we're going to be able to fix it going forward in the future, right? When your back against the
Right.
wall, sis, let me say this, watch. When your back is against the wall, you will always find a way to remove yourself from that wall. And what you just mentioned is when you rely on God, He will take you to the place that you've never seen it before. And I just want to thank you,
Yeah.
For that, because what you said is very accurate and is very neat and is clean and is powerful. And to all of our audience, we must take this into consideration because we are humans. We are humans.
Yes.
But we need to paint the right paint, what our picture says about us, to not neglect that part of our lives, because you know what? God's still working from that mess to where we at today. He built us from the mess, and look where we at. So it's so powerful. Accomplishment. When I went back and watched the video to 2011, there were some words that is in there. I put them all together. I found these words is accomplishment. Your career was so huge already at the time that you went into 2011. But what I learned and what I saw in that video is a person that wants to relate the story to whoever she can to. When you sing that song on the stage on the first time, when you saw the audience respond to you, they were shocked. It was one of the tough songs to sing. How do you prepare for how did you prepare for that night?
Right. Well, I spent weeks and weeks just practicing every day, and I'd actually only heard the song a couple of times and thought, oh, I can sing that. I can try to sing that. And then I practiced it a few times, and then when it actually came to the day, okaso mai, I was so sick that day. You can hear it in my voice. I couldn't quite hit the notes. My voice was quite raspy, and I went flat because my ears were blocked. But the worst thing that happened, which I never expected, was when I got on stage, my whole mouth went dry, excuse me. But my whole mouth went dry, so my lips were stuck on my lips because that's what nervousness does to you. That's what nerves does to you. It drains your body. It absolutely shuts down your body. So I was so scared that my mouth wasn't moving. Nothing wasn't moving, no matter how much I tried. Even when I did my expressions. But I thank God that even though I was not sure of myself, that it came out okay. It came out good enough to go to the next section. The great thing about X Factor is that I went in there with a full album that was already done. And I think a lot of people make that mistake, that they go onto something like X Factor or The Voice and they expect that experience to take them to the next level. That will happen. So let's just put it into perspective. When you go to auditions up for something like that, I think that year 15,000 people applied, right? And only 24 out of the 15,000 people will make it onto the TV show or onto the weekly shows. So what you have to do is be smart, and I know this was God prepared, that gave me this idea. Do an album, and when I couldn't sell any albums because no one knew about it, go on X Factor and use that as a platform for marketing, free marketing. I was able to sell a lot right after that.
Right.
So for me, it was a marketing thing, and I was so grateful after watching the whole series and how the producers painted me as this nice person, which was so good because everyone that knows me knows I've got a wicked sense of humor. So it was really good. It was a great experience, and I'm so grateful for it.
Another part of their accomplishment is this. I probably didn't say it too much in the last few weeks, but I'll say this once again. We as Sivafongo the Chai, our family, we are family. And even our viewers are joining us tonight. We just want to thank you for what you have done in your career and what you're doing in your career and the way you're taking Samoa with you. Even your family and what we hear from the church and the community in Australia that you're serving today. Thank you so much for what you do. You know why?
God.
Because our people needs us. You know, especially you, right? Our people needs you. The voice that you have, the passion that you have, the compassion that you have. You know, you name it. Your talents come with so much to share. You know, and you serve in your community with an open heart and a lovable mind. You are a very, very incredible person. You are. You know, you are a very, very incredible person. And I thank God that you are Samoan. I really do. I thank God you are Samoan because you take us to the next level. Talk a little bit
Wow.
about the community that you're serving and what you do. What you do there, sis. Let's hear from
Yeah.
our audience wants to know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've always had such a love and admiration for the Samoan language, languages in general. If you've heard me in some of my, videos, I do a lot of different accents, and the reason why is because I just love language and linguistics as a whole. But my passion will always be, my Samoan language. So I was very privileged to be able to release, be one of the pioneers when Samoan music was, recorded on top of R&B and hip hop music back in the late 90s. So along with Jamo Jam and Lole and a few others at that time. So we were really, really blessed with Pacific Soul as well. So we were really blessed to start that kind of movement off. Now that I'm older, I've had a call in my heart for a really long time, but I'm quite a selfish person in that I just wanted to raise my kids and never be in the public eye. I never wanted to celebrity. But when God's put a call in your heart, and if you're not obedient, you'll never be blessed. That's just the truth. You'll never find fulfillment in your life until you just obey and do the calling that's in your heart. So I've actually been teaching for about 20 years, but 4 years ago I turned it into a full-time business, and I've just been teaching vocals, sharing my knowledge, helping people to get their best voice, and it is the most fulfilling thing ever that I've ever been able to do. And so alongside with that, I also coach other business owners how to automate their businesses and how to be able to get sales without having to talk to people. There's a way to advertise yourself online and also to collect data from your customers without ever having to really be confrontational or overly harassing, sort of thing. So I teach other Samoan business owners how to do that, and it's really funny because me and my husband were talking about it the other day, and he said, "Why don't you open this up to all business owners?" And I said, "It is open to all business owners, but I'm a Samoan." I want to help my people. Every time you start to do something, don't you like for me, the freedom and the love and the joy that I have in my life, in my own house. My own home has to, everything starts with the home. My joy, my peace, my love, my energy starts from home. My kids, mentally, emotionally well, spiritually well, it starts from home. Allowing them the ability to make mistakes as they grow, it starts from home. So when it comes to teaching others what I know and what I love and what I'm passionate about, it starts with my home, my children, and then my Samoan people, my Pacific Island people, but it's welcome to everybody. Like I have a huge client base, which is both Balangi and Samoan. It doesn't matter, but my heart will always be, to serve my people first.
Right. You know what? Because your career as a celebrity singer, it is so unique. It's so organic. Like it's only you and God know exactly what to do with it. But people like me watching you and listening to your voice, it is so powerful. Another thing what we love about you when you perform on the stage, I love the 2011. I love the 2011 video and the whole, the concept that it went through. I mean, the whole thing, even the Elelo fight. I put those two together, and this is what I find it. I write this on my own. I put it in my words like this. It's a good connection on the stage between performers. I'm talking about both of you two, Alopopo and the 2011, right?
Mm-hmm.
You stands out as an individual performer, and then you come together. Right? Great musician, and you sing with confidence, and the vocally you have very, very good one, the good tone that we all need. Vocally, you have a great tone and really good control on high notes, a great overall performance. And that's how we explain you, and that's how we think about you when we see things like this. And it was, and it's great. And we're so thankful that we still have times like this to listen to your songs. But let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to extend our conversation to the next part of your career. Stay tuned.
Okay.
We'll be right back with Marina Davis.
Well, we're now in chapter.
Welcome back. An hour with Marina Davis tonight. It is so nice to be here with you all, and thank you for joining us tonight. There's so much tonight we're going to talk about, but we're going to pick and choose because of our time. But we will hear from Marina Davis later on about her teaching and what she has in store for us. But for this time, sis, I would like to say this to you. And this comes from all the viewers and all our fans, your fans. You always have a great moment as an entertainer and very, very truthful and spontaneous. When we called you on the spot on our live, you always come forward. Any challenge, you always ready to battle. The reason why I say that, because you are so good for what you're doing, and you understand yourself and your energy. Where does this energy come from?
You know, I've always had a lot of energy, but I guess ever since I was young, I was a people pleaser, you know, sort of thing. I remember always trying to make my mum happy, always trying to make my brothers and sisters happy, always trying to make everyone else happy. You know, that was just in me. I think that's in us as Samoan women, just to try to make everybody happy. And so my energy came also on stage from stage fright. See what we have to look at everything as a great lesson, because I look at all the negative things that have happened to me, and I look at all the lessons that I allowed myself to learn from them, and it's actually made me a better performer, a better teacher, and a better person. So I remember being on stage, and you know, the band would just be playing my songs, and I wouldn't talk in between the songs, and it would just be quiet, and everyone's just looking around like, oh, okay, must be just waiting for the next song. Then I realized I actually want people to have an experience with Marina Davis when they hear me sing. I want people to go home and say, that was great. Oh my gosh, she was funny. Oh my gosh, she was great. Oh wow, I really, you know, I want my performance to stay with people. And I do realize that there are people who don't like my voice, who don't like the way that I sing. That's fine. I'm not looking to touch those people. I'm looking to touch people that do want an experience. So, you know, when I was very young, I decided I'll just say a few jokes in between, you know, the songs, and then people laughed, and that encouraged me, you know. Right, and then when I was home, my mum, like, hey, you're actually pretty funny. And I thought, oh, good, okay, I'll just keep working on that. So you know, the energy was always there just to give a good show and really be a good person. And I haven't always succeeded in that, and I haven't always been the best version of myself. But I thank God that you know, servanthood also you know, gives you great purpose, and purpose is a great energy buzzer. That's Have you ever seen someone who's purposeless? They can't be bothered. They have no energy. You know, they oh, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that, you know, I'm so down, oh, nothing's going right for me. Yes, because we don't realize that God actually gave us full authority over over our decisions. And so if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I want to be full of energy. I want to be loving. I want to be kind. So I intentionally do those things, and that energy to serve comes from a purposefulness. I have a purpose, and I'm going to fulfill it. So that's where it comes from, purpose.
Yeah. That is so amazing. Thank you for sharing that, because you know, your energy does come with power. And your voice is a pencil that you tattoo those words into our hearts. And it becomes very, very remarkable. You know, it's the way that you handle yourself in the public, not only on the stage, but away from the stage. And things that you do, you know, is really, really appreciative. You know, everything that you do and everything that you touch, I believe God is with you in every single moment of your career. Yeah. Because He's the one, He gave you the talent, and He knew exactly who to give it to, because you can live it, and you can sing it, you can teach it, and you can preach it and love it. And I love the way that you spread yourself out, you know, to anybody that comes to your way.
Thank you.
What is the time, you know, and Is it easy for you nowadays because you're away from a stage, or do you still have a hard time with it away from stage when you come
It,
to the love for the people?
it's easier. It's easier because I'm surrendered. I
Mm,
gave up a long time ago, but because I was quite happy in my life, just serving my kids and my husband, and quite happy in myself to just never ever sin again. But the truth is that when you don't live your calling, when you don't live your purpose, it's a
right.
burden on your.
Mm,
It is a great burden in your spirit that you have to release, because the gifts and the talents that God gave to us, they're not ours. We are just the stewards of those gifts. And so what you do with it says a lot about your relationship with God. That's the truth.
mm,
What you your giftings says a lot about your relationship with God, and says a lot about how much we have a connection with him, because
right.
I don't believe that we share our purpose and our dreams and our heart with our
Mm,
enemies. When we develop relationship with God, it's just like developing that friendship, and he puts those things in your spirit about what your calling is. So now, as I've gotten older, now that I've given up, because before I used to be like, no, Lord, I don't want to serve nobody. I was too scared. I was too
mm,
scared to be myself, because I'm not your normal person. I have all this energy. I love to make people laugh. Love to see people grow. And even some of my close friends now said when they met me, they thought I was a fake because I was too nice. Sort of thing. And that shows me that God's way is actually disruptive in this world, isn't it?
right.
Love and kindness is such a disruption, because the norm is to have beef with people, to be petty, to be ugly, to be mean-spirited, sort of thing. And so God's ability to be able to transform our lives is actually quite disruptive out in the world,
Right.
because it's a transformation. It's true. People like for instance, brother, I saw this woman post a post, and she had said, I'm struggling to feed my kids. I don't know
Mm,
what to do, blah blah blah. And I said, the Holy Spirit just told me, just help her. So I messaged her and said, I know I don't know you, but please give me your bank account details. I'd love to transfer some money. Please don't say anything to anybody. Just
right.
let the Lord bless you. It's not me blessing you. It's the Lord wants to meet your need.
Right.
Sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And it was like, how dare you? How dare you think
Mm,
that I would need help? And I thought, that's the state of our world. We need help, but we're so proud that we won't receive it.
absolutely.
And we want to change, but we're so proud that we don't want to do the work in ourselves to change our behaviors and our patterns, so that we become better for the people around us that love us and that we love. So as I've gotten older, I've learned to surrender. I just give up. My
Mm,
greatest gift is not singing. It's the ability to surrender.
that's it.
The reason why my singing is so anointed is because of my level of surrender.
That's
That's the
right.
truth. Surrender to the power, surrender to the source. Because we
Mm,
as humans have such an ego that we think we're the source of everything, and we're
right.
not. The Holy Spirit is the source of everything. So now that I've surrendered, especially when I realized, gosh, my life was going to turmoil. I was becoming an alcoholic, and going out every single weekend to try to drown out all the
Mm,
pain that I was feeling in my life, instead of going to the source for my healing.
that's right.
And so now that I go to the source and I'm connected to the source, that's where all of the anointing comes from. That's where all the power comes from. That's where the courage comes from. Do you
Mm,
really think I have the courage to come and share my story of brokenness? Who wants to share their story of how ugly their life was? Who wants
mm,
to share that? No one, because we all want everyone to see the best in us. But the truth is that my story is really about how God can transform someone so egotistical, so full of themselves, such a liar, such a
mm,
manipulator, all of those things that we all, are in our young age. And I thank God that he's been able to trust me,
right.
as a friend to him,
Mm,
as because that's who we trust, our friends, our confidants. And I thank God that he's entrusted me with a fingernail amount of his power to be able to operate in this world with dignity and with grace and with love. So I really do believe that as good as my singing is, it's not as great as my surrender, and that's where my
mm.
power comes from.
I love your story. That life transformation surrender. You know,
Yes.
and the question, I love that what you said. But who wants to hear my story? Well, listen to
No one.
Jesus' story, right? What about Jesus' story? When he was
Right.
alive, nobody cares. As soon as he went on the cross and he died, he
Right.
came back to life. What did people do? Oh, now I believe. Things changed
Yes.
because even Jesus himself surrendered to the Father, to the source
Yeah.
of all things, right? And that's where the
Absolutely.
power is coming in. To be able to manage your talent and a career. I love the fact that how you put those two things together. You know what I love the most too? You don't lose your personality. And that's why I think a lot of celebrity are losing their battles because as soon as become celebrity, they forgot their personality where they started from. And then when
Yeah.
they neglect their personality, you know what's going to happen? They end up
Yes.
here and up there and up there.
Yeah.
And they separate themselves from the people. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about you. You're
Yeah.
still
You know,
keeping your personality. Talk about your personality.
the worst misconception, and this is what, I feel like everybody thinks God is this not funny God. He's got a great sense of humor. I mean, come on, like there is no way that our life is meant to be so serious. This is why we have ego and why we have, pride issues, is because we take ourselves too seriously, and I really, grew up in a household, where my mother never, ever, ever made me, I'm going to be honest with you, I had no idea I was famous until this year, when I went on TikTok and there was all these people who did, tributes to me and things like that. And I thought, what? Like, why would that freaks me out? But at the same time, I'm so grateful because it shows that, whatever God is doing in us, it can impact somebody. But my
Absolutely.
personality, very, like my brothers and sisters, I'm the oldest of 10. And when we joke around, we bring up everything from each other's past and we use it against that person in a funny way. You know what it's like to be
Right.
with your family.
Yes.
We try to embarrass each other. So we're all very quick, smart with our wittiness. And you know what? That doesn't go away because I know that God doesn't want me to go through life being so serious, being so hurts. In fact, the joy of the Lord is my strength. And
That's
so
right.
I find
Yeah.
a lot of in being able to be myself because the Lord made me this way. So I find a lot of joy in being myself and spreading joy wherever you can go,
Right.
So yeah,
That's
I'll
very
never
awesome.
change. Sorry.
It's
And
right. Right?
I have been told, you're not Christian enough. You're not Christian enough. Your personality's not good. And I said, oh, well, that's on you because God can judge me. You can judge yourself. So, I'm not really worried. And I think that's another place of power is that I stopped worrying what man had to say about me and just focused on what God has really done in my life and the freedom that I have in him.
Absolutely. And you know what? He's still doing a lot more in your life. He's
Amen.
still doing a lot more. Because God can use a singer, a person like you, to set us to the next level in our lives. Imagine when you start the singing from the age of 3. Now look where you're at today. Your songs are still living in a lot of people's soul, and people still singing it, and people still listen to it. And some of our old folks in Samoa, they haven't seen you live like this, but some of them now they can see who you are.
Yes.
And it is amazing. Another thing I want to ask you tonight about writing your songs, right? And the emotion that you put behind your songs. How much feeling do you add into your songs? Because now when you sing, you tell the story, the feeling of the story, the theme of the story, the meaning of the story, the purpose of the story. That is a lot.
It is.
That's a lot,
And
yeah.
one of the fundamental teachings that I teach in my classes is the ability to be a storyteller. And what's funny is that you watch something like X Factor, when you watch something like The Voice, Australia's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, but especially X Factor and The Voice because it's a voice coaching program. they actually always say that. Like I remember teaching it, and then my students will come and say, I watched The Voice, and they said they talked about storytelling too. And the reason why is because we all know from watching our favorite artists that when they sing, they paint a picture. They're telling a story to us using their voice and the lyrics. So that's something that's really, really important. You know, a lot of the time when I was younger, I used to write about things I had no knowledge of, like love and relationships, because I've been songwriting since I was 11. I just imagined them in my head. And as I got older, and especially this new album that's coming out, it's full of stuff that is kind of really real in my life, about my experience going through what I went through in my marriage, you know, my experience going through what I went through, just being broken and being able to come out of that. I think it's so much more powerful to be able to tell your own stories, as well as ones that you've imagined in your head, whatever comes to your heart. But it's a blessing to be able to share your story, whether I can share it like this or whether I can share it in a song. Sometimes it lasts longer when it's in a song.
Wow, that's amazing. Because all that transformed into such a beautiful song, comes with a beautiful voice, right? So
Thank
today, if we have to choose a singer to go right along with you for like a duet, male or female, who you will call to come sing this very special song with you? Besides
Shania
me.
Twain. Besides you. It would be Shania Twain. She's my favorite singer of all time. When you listen to her, I very much can hear myself and her emotions just come through. There's a song, or all of her songs, but she does this break in her voice where she's like, it only hurts when I'm breathing. The way that she does all the different volume changes and the crying voice, she's my favorite singer. Better than Beyonce, better than any singer that I've ever heard in my life. Has to be Shania, because I can listen to her 24/7.
It is amazing. Because I'll tell you what, when I listened to the ALLO5 song, it was very, very emotional. Because of your uncle was there at the time when he sang that song. And according to his own words, he said that was his favorite. Or you say that's his favorite song, and he wants you to sing it. That was long ago, right? Do you think that song will soon hit the market in Australia as a single if you decided to re-sing it again?
It's already out on Spotify, on iTunes. So you're more than welcome to, you know, go out and stream it or purchase it. It's completely up to you. My whole body of work is on Spotify and iTunes. I think in this day and age, I think it definitely would. But for me, I'm collaborating with a couple of songwriters at the moment who are writing me brand new material, stuff that I can really, because the majority of time, maybe one or two of my songs are remade Samoan songs, and those are the ones that go to be the big singles, the big hits. I really want to give some young Polynesian songwriters, Samoan songwriters, the ability to be able to use my voice to get their songs out. So, you know, again, it's another way to serve my younger generation of songwriters, to be able to give them the platform to let me sing their songs, and and they get paid for it, which is great.
That's wonderful. One of the quotes that I think, and I believe, it fits right along with your songs and your voice and your personality is this: friends are angels who lift up your wings, and they do not forget how to fly. They will not forget how to fly. Look what you're doing now. It's a little life for these kids now. When one day they will become like you, and they will never forget how to fly. They will escalate their talents to the next level. And they will remember who taught me, who showed me how to walk, and who opened my eyes to fly around the world with my talent. There's so many kids that you're teaching now around the world. They are listening to your voice and listening to your music. Even Samoan people. But I encourage all our listeners tonight and our people listening, from all over the world. It does not take that long. Just find Marina Davis on Facebook or social media, you name them. She's on there. Connect it with her. Set up on a time. She will teach your kid. She will teach your daughter, your son, even yourself how to sing. It's amazing. And your talent, God is using you to spread out your talents to everywhere now. How many students you have so far?
Oh, in excess of 300 at the moment, these students, and but I've been very privileged to have taught thousands of people in the last 4 years alone. I'm very blessed to do what I do, and the most fulfilling part is taking people from a mindset of I can't do it, I can't reach the note, I don't know how to do that, and then after a few lessons be able to hit the high notes, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, told ya. So I guess that's the real gift in these lessons, is the ability for people to see that they actually can do and teach themselves how to be and sing. It goes with everything, singing, tennis, everything is you can get good at everything as long as you practice it enough,
Wow.
and I already know when my students have practiced, and I can tell them straight away when we're doing our one-on-one, you haven't practiced. I know
That's
you haven't
amazing.
practiced. I already know what the brain does in the hippocampus and then the amygdala and the limbic system in the brain. I already know how that part of the brain works. So if you practiced, I know you would have been better this week, but you didn't.
Amazing.
And I'm that kind of teacher that kind of says, nah, you didn't do it. You're just wasting time. You're wasting your mum's money, sort of thing.
Yes. There's a comment that just came on the board right now from Lauren Nunu. Says, will you be singing or just an interview? I would love to hear you sing a few songs. I love your voice and singing.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank
That is
you.
so
Of
sweet.
course.
So I wonder what songs she wants you to sing. Or, it's an Alopopo fight. She wants to hear the Alopopo fight live from you. Lauren
Absolutely.
Nunu, because you ask, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Okay, even I look at, Talo Fan, now she's going to sing live the Alopopo fight to all of you guys. Now, here's Marina Davis.
I got it ready like half an hour ago. So see, God already knew. God already told me. All right, it's already me. There we go. So hope you enjoy. I'm just going to push this back a little bit. Ooh, can you hear the music?
Yes.
Oh. If I ain't got time, ua e sui upu ole whengainga. Tau lama le palanga, ona whaama oni, aole ne wai tatala le upu mani. La upele se ita utino mai boa e wasili ila uba bay osanta uba olinga uasi omi ita to my love fianga uala matotso ai alole alofa ma fa fanga boy, wasili ilauma, babe, oh, Santa, oh, holinga, oh, see, only I, ita.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Marina Davis. Yeah. But like I said, her voice so powerful and she loves you. If you don't have a friend tonight, I'll tell you what, she's your friend. Even though you don't have a friend, she will be your friend tonight. Now we can all hear the powerful voice that comes from you. So what is the next step, sis? Are we working in an album now, or?
Yes. We are, I'm working with some young Samoan songwriters to be able to get some beautiful Samoan songs. I really loved people like Kurt Arb and a few others who've released some beautiful songs, and I want to work with them to help their career as well. Why not use a platform like mine to be able to build other people's career? So very excited about that.
Outside of the whole career, and respect to the family, your husband and the children, right? What does your husband say about all this? All these things that you're doing? Like, what he has to say?
He's a servant too, so he gets it. He's a pastor's kid. So he's been a missionary all his life, and he's actually the reason why I'm sane. And I've never met someone who, I get a lot of attention, whether it's from fans or from males. He never gets jealous. He never gets upset. He is always so encouraging, and always, in fact, I remember, when I would share, when God would give me a revelation and I would share it at church, and I'd say to him, I don't want to share it. When it was my turn to preach on Sundays, he would say, preach it. Make sure you preach it the way that God gave it to you. And I said, no, because I want to have friends. This word is too hard. Like, tell people that they're the problem and that they can change themselves. People don't want to hear that. And he was the one that always encouraged me. Remember, Elijah ran away from Jezebel and Ahab. None of the prophets and none of the people of God were ever popular in the Bible. So if you want to be popular with man, go ahead and do your will. But if you want to be popular with God, listen to him. So right. He's actually the backbone of all of this,
Oh my goodness. It says a special request from Ese Foleni. She's she's one of our office that she works on I think it's on a Wednesday or on a Saturdays, right? She asked if you can sing this one favorite song for her from this moment. And I think that song we're going to close our program. Is it possible, please?
Which
For-
one is that?
Uh,
Which one is that?
Request by Foleni, From This Moment. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
good from this moment.
yeah. So
Absolutely. Let me
for
find
our
it.
audience, you can always find us on Thursday night, live at 10 o'clock, and share our program and let people know that we're live straight from Long Beach in California, United States, and she's in Australia. And here we are. Technology put all us together. So, Foleni, yeah, I hope you listen
Ready.
tonight. She's ready for you. And here we go.
I love this song. This one's called From This Moment.
Yes.
From moment, life has begun. From this moment, you are the one right beside you. Is where I belong. From this moment on, from this moment, I have been blessed. I live only for your happiness and for your love. I'd give my last breath. From this moment on, I give my hand to you with all my heart. I can't wait to live my life with you. I can't wait to start. You and I will never be apart. My dreams came true because of you. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing that I wouldn't give. From this moment on, yes. Love this song. You're the reason I believe in love, and you're the answer to my prayers from up above. All we need is just the two of us. My dreams came true because of you. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing that I wouldn't give. From this moment, I will love you. As long as I live, from this moment Thank you, Issei. I love that song. My favorite.
From this moment, we love you. Join us back next week, Thursday. She is the one and only Marina Davis. We thank you for the time. May God bless you and the family. Continue on, girl. Kick in a high road. We love you. See you next week. And thank you for tuning in. God bless you all. Good night. Sefua.
Esa